buzz lesson is Aztec's Cameras, Somewhere in My Heart. A famous band from East Kilbride, the same hometown as I am from, and that's why I thought this would be a really nice song to do, and there's a couple of really interesting concepts I can introduce you to as well. This song is in the key of C major. However, if we have a little look at the circle of fifths diagram, you'll also see that there are some chords included in there that don't quite fit. If you don't know the circle of fifths, that's a video for another time, we'll get to that very, very soon. Something that's really interesting in music is the fact that the rules that are there, the circle of fifths, what chords belong to which key, are merely just a guideline. And many songs will fit this, but there's often exceptions to the rule, which allows musicians to be creative and have a little bit of creative freedom. I think it's also important to note that when artists write their songs, I think a lot of the time they don't really think about the theory and why it works. The theory is just there to give us answers to the sounds that we actually hear. But let's have a little look at this song. We'll explore these chords, why they are used, why they work so well, and what effect they have on the song too. The play along of this song will be a buzz lesson which you can watch on my YouTube shorts or on Instagram, Facebook, so that you can have a little strum along to hear how it sounds. But what we're going to have a little look at is the chord progressions that are used, why they're used, and what sound they create. So I hope you learned something from this video. If you want the full song sheet, you can check out my Buy Me a Coffee page where you'll get the song sheet, theory nuggets, top tips, top teaching tips, and lots more. So for the purpose of this video, so that we can concentrate on this left hand or your fret hand, we're going to focus on just down, up, down, up, down, up strumming. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Just because we can get into a nice flow with that. The verse of this song is pretty straightforward. We start with 4 bars of C, 4 bars of F, and then we go back to 4 bars of C again. So 1, 2, 3, and 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and 1 and 2. Things start to get a little bit interesting as we move to the chorus, because we're going to play the chords F and then E7 and then F, and then towards the end of the chorus we play F, F minor and C. Now the E7 chord, or the E chord, which is actually used in this song, but it does sound pretty nice with an E7, and also the F minor chord don't typically belong to the key of C major. So the first interesting chord progression that we hear is the F, and then E7, and then we go back to F, and then back to the tonic, the major chord C. Now do you hear what the F to E7 does there? It creates a little bit of tension, so we've got F, and then E7. So the E7 chord, normally we would use an E minor in the key of C major. The E chord is really interesting here. When we play the E chord from the F, we're bringing everything down by a semitone. So F becomes E, A becomes G sharp, and C becomes B. Now because we're playing the E7, we've got an extra little note in there, which is the D note. Now what that does is it creates a bit of tension before bringing it back to F. So if we go F, and then it comes back. So you can hear the music kind of gets a little bit tense before it resolves itself again. Really interesting, and you'll find that the E7 chord is used quite a lot, or the E chord is used quite a lot within the key of C, because it does create that sense of tension. As we get along the chorus, at the end of the chorus, we play F, F minor, and then C. When we do that, one thing is in common the whole time, the C note. There's always a C. So when we play F, we're playing F, A and C. When we change, What's changing there is we're playing a G sharp or an A flat. And it sounds so lovely. So we go from the A, and then C. So bum, bum, bum. So you can hear it goes bum, bum, bum. The music drops, and again, it gives you a nice dramatic finish. So you've got, all you've got to be is true. It's a beautiful chord change, and again, that's something that you'll see quite often. You'll see the major chord that lowers to the minor version of the chord, and then so the chorus of the song is really interesting because it does have that kind of dramatic change from the F to the E7 back to the F, and then towards the end of the chorus that really dramatic F, F minor to C chord change. Things then go back to normal a little bit for the verse again. You've got your C's and your F's and your C's, which is great, very typical chord progression in the key of C, the first to the fourth to the first. Again, we'll get to that theory nugget another time. The next part, which we're going to have a little chat about, is the bridge. Now, the bridge takes us on a whole different planet. It takes us on a totally different level. What's really interesting about the bridge is we start with the G chord, which is the dominant chord of the key. So you've got your fifth note of the scale. C and G always work interchangeably. So you've got your G, changed to the minor chord of the F, and then the E7. What I love here is the fact that both chords that featured previously that created that dramatic, tense, suspense effect have been reintroduced with a different chord, G, into the chorus. So the song is totally taken away from the key, but it still works really nicely. And I guess it's because of that cohesion from before. So the bridge of the song really is interesting. I love the fact that it uses the F minor and the E7 just to bring us back to what we heard little bits of in the chorus. So it gives us some similarities there. Doesn't take us too far away apart from that G chord. Then something really interesting happens, which I really, really enjoy. So we've got the G, the F minor, and the E7. And then we change key very briefly. So rather than playing the G again, everything lifts and we go to a G sharp. Did you hear what happened there? Did you notice how everything lifted? And then it came back. So we played the G sharp. So we played the notes G sharp, we played C, and we played D sharp. And then we brought everything back down to the G chord again. So we lifted up and we came back down again. And that's another interesting thing that creates tension, creates suspense, and creates a little bit of drama within the song. So overall, have you noticed any recurring themes here? What I love about this song and what I've realised when exploring the chord changes a little bit are the little dramatic lifts that have come back down again. So we've maybe changed from the major chord to the minor chord with the F, so there's the notes that work and they go down the way. The G sharp to the G, where everything lifts and comes back again. The E to the F. So there's a lot of gradual shifts out of the key, back into the key again. And the reason that they work so well is because everything's moving cohesively up by a semitone or a tone, and then it's coming back again. So it's a really, really nice way to introduce you to how music notes work and how they move in conjunction with each other, and how by changing from a major to a minor, or changing one chord to a semitone or a tone above and back, can work really, really well in a key. And this is just one of the many, many, many reasons why we can play different chords that don't typically belong to the key. I could go into the music theory for all of this. I actually spent quite a bit of time looking at different analogies of these chord changes And I think sometimes with the theory, over explaining it can make it a little bit less enjoyable. And I think it's important to remember that the reason that we love music so much is because of how it sounds. So that's why I'm focusing on why the music sounds the way it does, because I think that's a good place to start to help you understand what these chord changes are. And again, we want to enjoy the music, so hearing what it sounds like I think is a good first step, especially when you don't really have answers to why different chords are used in different keys. In this week's song sheet, you'll find the chord diagrams for all of these chords, the alternative chord diagrams for these chords, as well as a breakdown of the notes used and little theory nuggets and tips on why these chords work and what they actually do. The ultimate challenge for this song is to listen to each of these chord progressions and see if you can identify them, see if you can hear what's happening. Is the music lifting and coming back down? Is the music dropping and coming back up? Tell me what you think, tell me what you can hear. See if you can challenge yourself, have somebody play one of the chord progressions and see if you can identify it. Taking away challenges I think is one of the most important ways to learn, and I think can really help you strengthen your skill set and knowledge and help you really deepen your understanding of different musical concepts and theory nuggets. I hope you've enjoyed this video. As I said, the play along is available on my social media channels, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, Facebook, so you can check out how the song sounds when it's sung and strummed. You can also check out my little chord melody version of this song, which you'll find on my social media as well. Something else I love to dabble in is writing little chord melodies. And I hope you have fun playing this one with your group. You can check out my Buy Me a Coffee page. £3 a month for the Tab Shack. You'll get access to all of my lesson materials that go along with these YouTube videos. And please don't forget to give me a wee like, subscribe, leave me a comment, because I love to hear from you as well. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you the next time.